define that which is the pure love that surrounds everything that is unconditional. It has so much love for you that this God knows your name, that you are part of that creative source because your soul was made by God, and your soul is eternal. Loved you so much that you are part of all of this. And then you come down to earth. And in a lower energy, for eons of time, human beings have decided that God is a human of some kind. And you would say, well, that's crazy. No humans ever said God was a human. Oh, yes, you did, humans. Every time you made a doctrine that made God angry and vindictive and had rules of punishment, that's a father, dear ones. That's a human father. That's not the creator of the universe. I think you got that wrong. And yet in the energy of creation, it starts with that which is kindergarten growing up into the first and second, third grades, and it's the same way with energy. So you might expect that kind of thing on the planet, but it never got better. And even right today, you'll go into places where they'll say, God is love, and God will punish you if you don't behave, if you don't do this and that. And by the way, you did something that you don't even know about thousands of years ago that you're being punished for. And it goes on, and it goes on, and goes on. Do you really think the creator of this universe, the definition of love and compassion, can punish you? How convenient that those who will say you only have one life and you're living it, and it better be a good one because at the end of that life, your soul will be tormented, they'll say. And there's plenty of pictures of that tormenting in the churches, so all the children can take a look at it. You know I'm right. I didn't make that up. Fear of God. You're programmed to fear God. That's a big one. What do you do about that? My partner had the same thing. So he started asking the questions that God answered immediately. But you have to be able to ask them. Dear God, dear Spirit, I believe in you. I was always told you were real. I love you. Is it possible that I was not told correctly? Is it possible there is a bigger story that humanity has just started to learn? Is it possible that you are so beautiful and so wondrous and so glorious? I don't need to worship this that is you because it is part of my soul, that you are so beautiful and wondrous and good. You could never, ever punish or anger or any of the things that are human nature that are assigned to the creative source. Is it possible? And almost immediately, my partner received the love wash that I gave him, indicating there is something here. What if, dear ones, you were never, ever truly given the truth? And it's not a conspiracy. It's because that truth is now simply starting to come out in a much, much better light. That in an older energy, that's the best they had. The doctrines that you have perhaps learned and been programmed in, it's the best they had. You take a look at the ancients, even the Greeks, I've said this before, they made their gods dysfunctional, so they'd be just like you. This has precedent, if you've noticed it. Study it a bit, and you'll start to realize that the whole hierarchy of the idea of God doing this and that and requiring this and that and worshiping and then punishing and having your soul go to a horrible place with a fallen angel, that it's all allegory, it's story, and it's human story. It's not divine. It's not real. And all your life, that's what you've been told. So of course you would fear God. The creator of this universe who loves you dearly is not to be feared. The creator of this universe who loves you beyond measure is part of your soul. All of your energy is allied with you and is waiting to give you and teach you compassion, kindness, beauty. Let's do an exercise together. If you want to feel this, I invite you to put your hand on your heart. If you want to understand more, I will tell you that in this energy, answers come quick. Especially the questions about your own perception of your own divinity. Dear Spirit, dear God, I want to forget everything I've been told about you right now and wipe the slate clean and let you tell me who you are. Dear Spirit, show me the benevolence and the love that's there. Let it fill my heart with peace and understanding so that I'll understand totally that perhaps you're different. Perhaps you're not a father at all like a human is. Perhaps you are far beyond any consciousness that I can conceive. Perhaps you love me so much that I'll never be alone, that you'll always be with me, that there'll be guides and angels helping me through this life. Perhaps I'm here to learn that love, not to fear you. Show it to me. Show it to me. Dear Spirit, dear creative source, show me a bigger picture. One that nobody ever showed me. And do it in a way, not with pictures on the wall or in books, but in a way I can't miss it. Give me the synchronicity, perhaps, of others who will give me this same message in another way, or perhaps in my dreams, or perhaps right now, fill me with such love that I will never fear that which is God again, ever. I'll know you so well and love you so much and feel your compassion and kindness like I never have before, that I can just sit back and laugh at the allegory that I was told, like a child being told about a fairy tale that never exists, and when they grew up, it got corrected. It's time for the correction. There is no reason for any human ever to fear that which is the creative source, who would never punish you, who will never ever treat you any different than you would treat your children, dear ones, that you love so much. Be aware that this creative source that is responsible for everything you see as you look up in the sky, day and night, knows your name and wants to fill you completely with love. You are not a small dot on a moving planet. You are an eternal soul, and there are purposes and reasons for you and your consciousness and your life, and they ally totally with God's plan of love, compassion, and change on this earth. If you do this, you can start beaming with the light that is yours, and you'll never fear God again, ever. I'm crying in love with this family, giving you truth today. Truth. I want you to feel the reality of it. And so it is.
And as that beautiful, beautiful love wash from Kryon continues, I ask you to gently place your hands in your lap if you haven't already, And open up those eyes. And as you open your eyes, with your hands on your lap and the love wash continuing, bring your awareness to be more fully present in your body as we move to the next part of the program. And I'm really excited every time I get these young, amazing show weighers of the planet coming to us. I get so excited. That's why I can't even find my words right now. We have Elizabeth April joining us, and I just want to make sure she's there on the Zoom feed with us. Elizabeth, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us. You are part of the wave of the future. Love that we've got such young, vibrant energy doing amazing work on the planet.
I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
I say, folks, wait till you meet the new generation, the ones that are here that we've expected all along. Well, here's a very short introduction to this very special person. Elizabeth April, 30-year-old who was born with extrasensory abilities.
Now, at a young age, Elizabeth was able to see ghosts and spirits and read energies from other people. So since childhood, she's developed these abilities into a wide array of skills, from clairvoyance, remote viewing, past life regression to precognition.
And based on a wide variety of experiences, Elizabeth is most excited about exploring the topics of a spiritual awakening, cosmic disclosure, one of my favorites, and quantum physics. Welcome to the program, dear. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
So how did all of your skills and gifts from childhood develop into what you're doing now, full time?
Yeah, I think it was really a process to get to where I am today. And really, I think the biggest thing about anyone's spiritual awakening and navigating this space is discernment. So a lot of things had to happen in order for me to build, yes, the knowledge and experience that I have, but really the discernment to tell the difference between different vibrations and what's definitely happening on the planet right now. And I think discernment is the number one thing that I like to share and give to other people and help them experience as well.
You are preaching to the choir, because we often get people asking us because others have said they channel Kryon, which is the real one. And so discernment is always the answer. So how would you tell others to discern truth for themselves?
Yeah, and this is where it's tough, right? It's almost impossible to teach discernment. The best thing that we can do as way showers and teachers and leaders is to remind everyone that their own greatest navigator is within them. So the best thing that I like to say is, after listening to a teaching or going through a meditation or watching a video or reading an article, how do you feel afterwards? Do you feel fearful or anxious or exhausted? Or do you feel uplifted and excited and motivated? And based on where you're at in your own emotional state is a pretty good indication if that piece of information or that teacher is bringing you closer to pure source energy, or it's bringing you farther away from it. And of course, at this time, we need to know both sides in order to make a choice. So, and the choice mostly should be really connecting to yourself through that source energy and feeling motivated and enlightened after interacting with other energies.
I'm curious about your childhood.
That's what I'm curious about.
And your parents, because so many have these gifts, but it gets squashed or shut down due to either parents or the environment. So I'm just curious, how was it for you?
How did that play out when you had these abilities with your parents?
Yeah, so I think my mom was always really freaked out by what I could do, especially with the ghosts and the spirits. She's like, oh, you're watching too many scary movies, and maybe we cut cut back on the media time. Whereas my dad, who was actually the more Catholic one, and we were raised Catholic, was very open-minded. So what's great about what he did, and what I really encourage parents to do now, is to allow your children to explain what they're experiencing and ask as many questions as possible. So for me as a kid, I was saying that I was talking to God all the time. And so my dad would say, well, what is God telling you? And those kind of things. And those questions would really prompt an open discussion and would make me feel that it's more normal to have those experiences and to see those spirits and ghosts and ET beings than not. And that really allowed me to flourish in that state.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you to your father. I love that. Thank you, Dad. And I'm sure eventually Mum came on board too.
Oh, yeah. My mom is by far my biggest fan and supporter. And, she's front row at all my conferences, listens to all of my podcasts. She doesn't understand everything, but I just love the unconditional love and support she has.
Oh, so beautiful. So I would...
I want to know about your work. I want to know about the Galactic Federation and anything that you want to describe to this point in time. How did this all evolve, and what's it all mean?
Oh, okay. Talk about loaded question. So I really had kind of my reawakening at 16, because I really shut down a lot of this stuff when I had my first past life regression. That allowed me to understand reincarnation is real, time is an illusion, and we all have the ability to explore past, future lifetimes and to actually override time and space as we know it. So that opened me up at 16. And that at 18, I was very consciously abducted by extraterrestrial beings, which opened me up to the world of ETs and, the good and the bad, not just the good. And shortly after my abduction experience, of course, I was really curious, tying now the past life aspect to the ET aspect. I mean, if we've been other things in other lifetimes on this planet, I wonder if we've been other things in other lifetimes off this planet. And what could we be off this planet? And what does that look like? And what is the whole system and the structure off of this planet? And I think a lot of that curiosity and questioning led me to connecting with the Galactic Federation. And I think it was also in my contracts to connect with them in this lifetime. So shortly after my abduction at 18, they contacted me and they invited me to a meeting that they were having. And this was back in 2010. And in this meeting, they talked about this giant vibrational shift that was taking place and what was going to happen that was a part of this vibrational shift, and the different species and beings that were on this planet interacting with human beings, and the whole purpose of human beings. And it took me a while to really unpack that and integrate that into my own understanding of this life. And unfortunately, I didn't really have any teachers or mentors or a community at that time to go to ask, is this real? Is this legitimate? So I really had to do a lot of navigating on my own. And of course, a lot of what they talked about in that first Galactic Federation meeting is now coming into fruition. And since then, I've had meetings with them every single month for the past, 12 years, something like that. So it's really about connecting with them, keeping up to date on, what's happening at a greater galactic level, and what does planet Earth and humanity have to do with all of that? What is our role in all of this? And what do we need to know at this time to best navigate the collapse of the old energy and stepping into the new vibration?
And so that was going to be my question, your dialogues and communications with the extraterrestrials. That's the subject, what I was wanting to ask you. So you already unloaded that. And what would be the message for what our beautiful planet Earth, which I just absolutely love.
This would be the first message that you got in that first meeting, I think.
So I just absolutely love this beautiful planet that we are so privileged to be on. What is the message for us going from the old to the new?
There's a lot. So I would say there's two big things that I would want to relay in this moment. One would be that human beings are really, really special. And I think that a lot of channelers have relayed that message that we're special, but why are we so special? And to sum it up really quickly, throughout our evolution in human history, there have been many species that have come to the planet, mixed their DNA with our DNA to help evolve us. And sometimes that's for their own greedy needs, and they don't understand the bigger picture. But the bigger picture is there has always been a Galactic Federation prophecy that has said there is going to be a species that is going to be the children of the highest vibrational beings and the lowest vibrational beings in the universe. And if that species was able to experience both of these vibrations simultaneously and through their free will make a choice, whether they choose love or fear, they choose to express the DNA of the highest vibration or the lowest vibration, it's going to not only change the trajectory of this planet, but it's actually going to have an impact on the entire universe. Technically, within this prophecy, we are that species, and we are the prophecy that is really meant to end the war of all wars out there in the universe. So that's a lot, right? It's like I always see us as like this super